I think across my professional development, climate was always there. As a Guatemalan, you are always aware of climate variability and change. It's something that agriculturalists talk all the time. You see stuff happening at the biology level. My name is Diego Pons. I'm a postdoc research scientist at Columbia University. I work at the IRI. I work for the ACToday Team in Guatemala and Colombia. I grew up in Guatemala City. I started to fall in love with nature and research very early in my childhood. I was always picking snakes under the rocks or doing this kind of stuff when I was a kid, which ended up into my biology career at the university level. And there I found myself visiting most of Guatemala's corners. 70% of rural Guatemala still lives in these areas outside urban centers, and their livelihoods are directly connected to agriculture. We only have 47 years of instrumental data in Guatemala, so understanding the change in the patterns, in the historical patterns of precipitation and temperature is not easy. We're putting a lot of pressure on agriculturalists to understand this variability, to adapt, to mitigate. But it's hard to do if you don't understand where you're coming from and how often you expect this droughts to happen. Through my biology degree, I started to monitor climate variables. At the same time that I was finishing my master's, I became involved with tree ring lab from Columbia University. And that's when I felt like I belong here. That was my this is it moment, and I fell in love with that. Then I started to work with these researchers from the tree ring lab on developing climatologies for Guatemala using tree rings. So we have been able to reconstruct the climate back for 500 years in Guatemala and understand the low frequency events of precipitation in pretty much all the mountain regions of Guatemala. Those areas are the areas that we expect to see the largest change in terms of temperature and precipitation regimes. It's also there in those mountains where people is the most vulnerable because they lack access to infrastructure, right? There's no roads, there's no water. So that research is actually part of what allows us to currently embed the Columbia University ACToday project, because we have been working in those communities for more than 10 years. One of the things that we have identified both on the ground and literature, and as we move forward with ACToday, is that the new generations have so much to do with how we can move forward regarding adaptation to climate variability and change.
What? Oh my God!
Thinking about the future, the adaptation that we should undergo is mostly based on a transgenerational format, if you may. Like, we need to involve the parents, obviously, because they are actually the agriculturists on the ground. But the next generation should understand how they can have access to climate information to make decisions, even if it's getting out of agriculture itself. We think we can help these rural agricultural communities by improving their access to climate information. We can reach that last mile of climate services by working really together with these users.